Welcome in to That's a Tap, where we react to the mega fight. Ryan Garcia causes one of the upsets of the boxing world. Here to talk about it is DJ with CT. Give us a like button and let's talk about it. DJ, how you feeling, man? What a fight.
Feeling great. One of those Sundays where we don't have a UFC event, and then but we obviously got like the mega fight, which is Haney and Garcia. Um, it was a long drawn out promotion for the fight. We know everything that went beforehand, and man, I think the fight delivered. Absolutely delivered. I think in this new era of boxing where the big names are fighting the other big names. I think this was one such fight. Garcia and Haney. Look, pre-fight, man, there was a lot of things going on, especially from Ryan Garcia's side, that I was quite doubtful. First of all, if this fight will happen, and then this my second my other thought was that even if he were to come and fight anyhow, compromise will he be, or is he taking this fight serious enough? But man, I think he answered all questions today. And look, I know we're going to talk about the pre-fight antics, the actual fight itself, but initial reactions, man. What did you think?
Entertainment, man. It's got the fight world buzzing as well as casuals, boxing aficionados. These are top dogs. These
Yeah,
are top names. Interesting that I've found out today. This is the eighth time that they've technically, the seventh
yeah.
time.
Seventh time. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the seventh time that they've technically fought, and that added to the story. But like you said, man, it's been a bizarre lead up to this fight. Where yesterday I was like, "Is this going to happen?" Boy, did it
Yeah.
happen, man. Credit to Haney for continuing to fight through the fight. But Ryan Garcia, man, I mean that steals all the headlines. What a victory! What a bounce back. A lot of people wrote him
Mm-hmm.
off. Why do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think people wrote him off so much? What was so special about this upset?
Man, the thing is, first of all, we all know Ryan Garcia is a good boxer. He's got that mean left hook and his speed, right? He's got power, he's got speed, right? And the raw talent always was there. For the longest time, the narrative has been, even now, is that he could still be even better if he were to apply himself and take himself seriously. Um, After the Tank Davis fight, look, the Tank Davis fight was a one-sided ass whooping, to be honest, right? Ryan Garcia pretty much got beat, and then you know gave up because obviously he had he took that body shot and he couldn't get up off the canvas. Going and that and keeping that in mind, and then comes back, fights another contender, not very highly ranked or not very not very well known as opposed to the Haneys and the Tank Davises. So he still has a win, but then they start talking about this even before this fight was finalized. There was a lot of pre-fight chatter. Ryan Garcia was calling everyone out. He said he'll fight this person, that person said, "Oh look, I want Haney," and then the Haney camp seemed fine with it. They come back and then controversy again. Ryan Garcia says he doesn't want the fight anymore. Like they're not going to fight anymore. Somehow the fight gets made. And but throughout the whole media tour, Ryan Garcia was upping the antiques. He was just sort of playing around. It seemed like he wasn't taking anything seriously, especially the media. And the weigh-ins, we know that he missed weight by about 3 pounds. And then also chugging that beer. We don't know what was in that bottle, but chugging that beer, on the scale, and then facing off all the social media rants, the including myself, everyone thought, look, one, there's a lot, maybe there's a lot going on with this guy, and then the other one is that he's not putting in the preparation, not taking himself seriously, right? So if the fight were to happen, my mindset was there's going to be two things that could happen, right? Either he's not taking this seriously, he's coming in for a payday and he's going to get whooped, or he's trolling everyone and he's going to come ultra prepared, and he's going to put on a show. I actually, before the fight started, thought it was the former because he missed weight too. Usually when a fighter misses weight by a small margin, that means that their camp hadn't probably gone as planned, or it hadn't gone well. So all that going into the fight, and man, the fight happens, and boy, oh boy, we'll be wrong. I mean, now in hindsight, you're inclined to think it was a troll job. How much of it was, actually real, and how much it was a troll job. But he seemed in the best. This was the best Ryan Garcia we've seen ever. right? And he fought an undefeated boxer, Haney, who beat the likes of, however controversial the last win was, obviously the last fight was with Lomachenko. And then he's beat Kambosos twice, and we've spoken about it. So he's a top tier boxer. Sort of compared to the likes of Floyd Mayweather, and he was a clear favorite going into the fight. I think it was a plus um a minus 800 maybe at one point. So so he was a clear favorite. Everyone was writing Ryan Garcia off. Man, he came in, and I felt, in my opinion, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on this. Right, again, kudos to Devin Haney for keeping on fighting and keeping coming back. That's the warrior mentality. But I just thought it was a clear victory for Ryan Garcia. I thought it was a dominant victory.
Yeah, man, I agree. But Haney started strong as well.
Hmm.
Was winning the fight on the scorecards. According to their broadcast scoring at some
Yeah.
point. Did you feel like Haney took him lightly or started to cruise, and then Garcia had the edge? In terms of Haney maybe underestimating Garcia, or do you think that Garcia just today proved that he is, better than Haney? Coming in.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, according to my opinion, right? I feel like Haney did. Haney, I feel, is a type of fighter who does give it his all in training camps. Even Eddie Earn was saying, they've left no stone unturned. They're well prepared. They feel like they've surpassed Ryan Garcia in terms of preparation and sort of taking this fight seriously as well. Um, so I think he did prepare, but I also think maybe a part of him did underestimate Ryan Garcia. Probably whatever Ryan Garcia was doing maybe made Haney drop his guard a little bit. No, they were doing face to face interviews, and he was singing, man. Like, so, what I mean. So so probably Haney probably thought to himself as well, like, and even his camp, look, this guy is not taking this seriously. He's just coming for a payday. So yeah, I'm prepared, but I think it's going to be an easy fight. But then Ryan Garcia comes out firing. I thought he got that first round clearly. I think 2, 3, and 4 maybe Haney, but after that, I felt Ryan Garcia was just running away with it. A lot of questions. One of the questions I had was like, how long can Ryan Garcia last? Because he's missed weight, so is the gas tank going to hold up? And it did, man. Like, it was fresh. He had barely any marks, and look, you could see the power of Ryan Garcia. With the damage that you could see in Haney's face. And we've not seen Haney like this. But we've seen him obviously fight Lomachenko, but this was the most damage I've seen Haney take. And look, man, I'll be very honest. I never thought like we will see Haney like this in a position like this. So yeah, look, kudos to Ryan Garcia, man. King Ryan Garcia, proves all the haters wrong, gets a big win. I know that unfortunately the belt wasn't up for grabs because he did miss weight. So on paper, Devin Haney is still the champ, but I'm sure Devin Haney wouldn't want to, hold on to that championship in the manner in which it happened. So I feel like maybe there could be a rematch down the line. But on this day, Ryan Garcia is victorious, and man, like he showed us that he's by far, the better boxer. He was landing the cleaner shots, and his power was translating a lot. But there was a couple of shots that Haney caught Garcia cleanly. I think one wobbled him back a little bit, but for the most part, he didn't seem too faced with oncoming traffic, and he seemed to be able to negotiate it well. And there was some interesting defense tactics, and yeah, look, so yeah, like, I mean, especially after the loss of point as well, and Ryan Garcia lost the point in there as well, for landing a shot once the ref had stepped in and tried to break them apart. Look, man, I don't know. Like, did you think the refereeing was very controversial today?
Oh, well, that was the next question I was going to hit you up with, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're hearing a lot on online about how this bout was officiated. Yeah, the referee Doc.
Yeah,
I didn't agree with
yeah,
some of the things. Firstly, the clinching was too much. There should have been. He did was just try to separate them every time, but no warning, no nothing.
yeah, yeah,
Clearly trying to protect the fight to continue, but one
yeah,
fighter was close to ending it at that point.
yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, man, I thought like the refereeing was bullshit. Like, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Like, I think it was bullshit, because there was too much interference as well. but also like interfering at the wrong point, and sort of it didn't make most for the most part didn't make sense. I think there were times where Ryan Garcia had Haney on the ropes, and I think if you let it continue, or like I know that he was clinching, but Ryan Garcia was trying to separate and keep landing some punches and maybe let it go. Let's see how it plays out. There was a moment where Garcia was landing punches in bunches, man, and I felt it could have been stopped there. But having said that, I don't want to give him too much slack for not stopping the fight, because the fight did continue. Haney did stand his ground. He did fight till the end of the 12th round, till that last bell rang, right? But yeah, look, but the decision was inevitable. When we got to the second half of that fight, Garcia was running away with it. There was no sign of him fatiguing or slowing down. He was very smart in there, and he picked his shots. And see this image there, right in the middle of us, as an iconic shot. With Garcia towering over, Haney, who's hit the canvas. So, man, interesting. Yeah, look, it is where it is. But yeah, they're very disappointing with the refereeing, and hopefully, the authorities are able to step in and sort of use this as an education material to, like, make it better. Yeah, I didn't feel like the ref was partial. Impartial. I didn't feel that. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
he was interfering a little too much.
yeah,
And also, yeah, the point deduction on Garcia was fair. He
yeah, yeah. That was fair. You
hit
can't.
him, yeah,
Yeah,
right on the stoppage. But I'm seeing some fans
yeah,
say that, yeah, he denied Garcia of his moment. Ali over Liston kind of moment where he
yeah, yeah,
stood
yeah,
over
yeah,
him and pulled
yeah,
him back. But ended up happening. We see the images there, DJ. But
yeah. It did end up. Yeah.
what is the wash up to come out of this now? Like, it's so unfortunate that it wasn't for the belt, right? You feel the same
Yeah,
way?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, a performance like that, and look, I could be wrong, but all these fighters are going to rehydrate, and their fight night weight's going to be very different. But I think, yeah, 3 pounds still significant for a championship fight, right? I mean, look, I am of the firm belief that if it's for a championship belt, and we've spoken about this multiple times in the UFC, where, like, if it's for the championship belt, then obviously you have to make championship weight, and it is what it is. So yeah, the rules are rules. You can't really, unfortunately, change that. It's unfortunate. We get like a performance of a lifetime from Ryan Garcia, and he was still not able to get that title. But people are saying he's the people's champ. There's no denying the belt now is sort of lost some significance, if you ask me, right? So yeah, look, they might do a rematch. How soon? I don't know. Haney might take some time off and come back, because let's not forget, like, this was a well prepared Haney that came out and obviously came up short against Garcia. I've not really watched most of the interviews, but it seems like there's no excuses coming out of the camp, Haney's camp, that is. So, which indicates again, like, there was probably nothing that happened pre-fight that could have compromised him. Yeah, so, like, kind of in Haney's mind, he's given his best shot and he came up short. But this is a fighter he still can beat, and he knows that in his mind, because we know these fights happened 6 times prior, and they were both 3-3 in the amateurs. Right. So now in the pro league, we've got their first showdown, and Garcia comes out victorious. So yeah, that's what it is, man. And just like that, Haney's got a 1 in the loss column. And we know that he was very precious about that undefeated record, and unfortunately, that's just going to not be there. So it's going to be a what is it, 35-1, I think.
Yeah. Well, look, Haney's still so young. He's had an amazing career to this point, and no doubt will continue to be dominant and great fighter. But yeah, I just think styles make fights, and he come into a matchup like you said, with the power, the left
Yeah,
hook. I mean, there's rumors now that Haney broke his jaw, but he just tweeted out like, yeah, he denied all those rumors, saying, "I haven't broken nothing. I'm
yeah,
okay," like I said. But I mean, he took some pretty big damage, and to me, Garcia looked a lot bigger. DJ,
mm,
I know 3 pounds is 3 pounds, but he
yeah.
did look bigger in this one. Haney really looks more comfortable at 135. I reckon. What do you think?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point you make because he might maybe take this as an opportunity to go back to 135. I don't know if he can make that cut because he was saying that he was getting drained, but he was also doing his best work there. And we can't forget him dismantling Kambosos across 2 fights, and then that close fight with Lomachenko as well. We talk a lot about how Lomachenko maybe should have won and all that, but we're also on the other side of it. A young up and coming, not up, a young but a really good boxer, fights one of the legends and takes him to a very contentious decision. So that's pretty big as well. So you just gotta remember that too. So this by no means discredits Haney in any way. I think he's still one of the best boxers in the world. I think one of the best in that weight category. It's just they're probably like they'll regroup, make some decisions, and they'll decide what they want to do, and when they want to come back as well. Um, yeah, but it also brings the question: how good is Tank Davis, Javonta Davis? We've seen that, and we've seen what he did to Ryan Garcia, and we now saw what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney.
Yeah, yeah, great point, DJ. Great point. I think yeah, Javonte Davis has that power that he can neutralize Garcia. But
Yeah,
to your point, like if you're Haney, like the fact that this wasn't for the belt and you lose, you get to keep the belt. You're not exactly running to give this guy the rematch, are you? Like
yeah,
knowing you just got beat, right? Do you think that could have an impact on?
yeah, yeah. I think he'll probably take some time. I feel like, I mean, look, regardless, I mean, good to know that there was no damage, and he didn't. But there was a lot of damage inflicted. I mean, at least visible, right? We saw that in his face, and sort of like his ability to where some of the shots was diminishing, and he was, especially that last shot that took him to the canvas. You see his head snap back and his eyes roll back. But yeah, look, I think it'll serve him well to take some time off, and he can strategize and come back with the best possible matchup. Then that if he were to take some time off, what does that mean for the championship? Do they do an interim championship? I'm not sure. Um, hey, another fight I wouldn't mind. I know they're not in the. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're in the same category. But I wouldn't mind seeing Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia. That'll be an explosive fight as well. So yeah, man. Look, Ryan Garcia is like. I mean, what can you say? It's King Ryan Garcia. He did his thing. He told us he's going to do it, and he did it. I mean, there was a lot of bumps along the way. There was some doubts if the matchup will happen, but it did happen, and he came good on his promises, and he did. I mean, look, there can be an argument be made. An argument can be made that there were times that fight could have been stopped. Maybe not many, but a couple.
Yeah, fairly convincing win. Obviously
Yep.
there's an asterisk with the weight cut, but
Yeah.
another boxer, DJ competitor, Shakur Stevenson,
Oof.
has been tweeting all over the place now.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
could enter the equation.
Absolutely, man. Another gun boxer, and that's another fight I would love to see. We know Shakur Stevenson's well known in terms of his skill set. We've seen that previously. I know he had a bad fight recently, his last fight, but outside of that, he's had some pretty good fights, and him and Ryan Garcia could be a really good fight as well. You know, and the winner of that could then challenge for the title again when Haney comes back. I don't know there's some options available, but I think for the time being, Garcia's going to take some time off, and hopefully he sticks to sort of like the work he's been putting in, and the discipline, and not go because we see this talent, man. We see the skill this guy has, and it'll be a shame not to. And he look, whether you love him or hate him, he's one of those polarizing figures, and people tune in to watch. Very Conor McGregor like character in terms of some of the things that he puts out, and sort of speaks his mind. I like it. I kind of like. I feel like I think the whole lead up to the fight, it felt like he had thrown caution to the wind, and he kind of didn't care what he was saying and what he was doing, and sort of the way he fought today was very reminiscent of that. Even when he took one punch flush to the face and tumbled back, he kind of taunted Haney to keep coming forward, and so that sort of shows maybe it's a different Ryan Garcia now, seeing a more evolved fighter, more evolved boxer. Hey, but also I had this thing pre-fight or doing all this. We know the history between Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya, who is this current promoter who is Ryan Garcia's contracted to, and they're not really in good terms. Their feud's been quite public. They've beefed up on the stage, and we know the legal drama that followed last time with the Golden Boy promotion suing Ryan Garcia and all these kind of things. Part of me was also thinking, I mean, is this one of Ryan Garcia's tactics to be as difficult as possible so that De La Hoya decides to drop him? So I don't know. Like there was a lot that I was thinking, but now having seen the fight, I feel like maybe it was just like a troll job that he did, and then it just came out with the win and hopefully made a lot of money too.
Yeah, that's a great theory, but I think Garcia is no doubt he's colourful. He's young, he's rich, he's living it up. There's images of him smoking it up now on 420 the other day in the US.
Oh,
But look, today
man,
he's king.
yeah. Well,
He's
I mean,
king.
did you see in his post-fight conference? He said he was smoking and drinking every day leading up. I don't know how much of that I believe, but but still, man, if he did, that's even more impressive. So yeah,
Probably a little bit, like I don't think it's going to
yeah,
affect you
living it
a
up.
whole a whole a
Yeah,
whole lot. Maybe you're down to
yeah,
beer, a couple beers a night. But look, he produced, and look, your Haney. I think, look,
yeah,
when you've been dominant for so long, a real challenge comes along. You can be susceptible. I think Haney
yeah,
will bounce back, but yeah,
yeah.
look forward to see what we get from Ryan Garcia, the King, and DJ. We'll be dropping more content with the Usyk Fury fight happening very soon. What else is happening?
Man, like obviously the better be Bivol fight has been announced as well for July 1st. So that's a big one that I'm looking forward to, man. To be honest, I am very very keen to watch that. And then look, let's not forget the one that's happening in our own backyard. Not too far away now, which is the Cambosis versus Lomachenko. The great Lomachenko is coming to our shores. It's coming down under. So man. So it's a monumental moment for all Aussie fans, and it's a big opportunity for George Cambosis. You know what I mean? Like he's another fighter who always brings the fight. Whatever the thing is. We saw it with the Haney fight. He never took a step back though. He just kept coming forward regardless, and sort of and that's his mentality, that warrior mentality. So I'm keen to see how that fight plays out too. So yeah.
Yeah, great stuff, man. I look forward to it as always. Yep. And we'll be talking about it. And we did our big recap on UFC 300. I'm still just catching my breath after that, man. And yeah, the UFC has a break, but this fight delivered. I gave it
In
an A
spades.
as well. What
Yeah.
would you grade this fight?
Man, absolutely. Like I know we usually grade cards, but that's like a thing where you'd grade the card. But from a fight perspective, I grade it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, or A, like you say, yeah, absolute. Like it was a fun fight. Haney was still in there. Like it wasn't like obviously there were rounds where he was clearly out, but the, for some parts of it, you did see Haney fight back as well. So yeah.
Yep, definitely, man. Well, yeah, it's been a great episode to break this one down. As I said, give us a like button. Let us know your thoughts on this fight and what you're looking forward to. That's a tap with CT and DJ, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.